Considering the fact that there's like 300 subscribers to this channel already and I have not posted a video yet, I feel like it's probably in my best interest to actually give you guys some content to watch. So why don't we play a game that many of you guys are probably familiar with, EU4. Obviously this map looks a little bit different. This is Anbennar. It is a total overhaul mod, adds crazy amounts of stuff, different religions, cultures, obviously a new map. Everything is very different, and I think you guys are going to have a good time with this. So if you have not already, make sure you subscribe and ding the bell so you get notifications when we upload new videos. And if you are excited to see some content, make sure you leave a like as well. I do appreciate that, and it does help a small channel like me, a small, humble gaming channel, find a larger audience. So go ahead and leave a like if you're enjoying it. But we're going to be playing as the Jaddari. You just got to get used to the idea that I am not going to pronounce literally anything correct in this game. Anbennar is crazy. Everything is super crazy, and I can't pronounce anything. I'm not even gonna try. Jaddari, I assume, is what's correct. We're gonna be playing as them. These guys are very interesting. They have their own religion, they have their own culture, and they have their own technology group as well. So I think this is gonna be pretty exciting. We're gonna load in here. So let's start off by taking a look here at this absolute chaos going on over here. We have mages and adventurers on top of our normal estates. So I don't know how managing this is going to be, but we're going to definitely see adventurers wanted, ghouls appearing in our country. Oh my goodness. Apparently this Zoka guy here has a scripted war with us very early on. You can see Commander Jaddari is quite an old man. He's an immortal, long-lived elf man who is a desert elf. Pretty solid. 282 years old, and apparently this dude over here, Zoka, Devourer of Suns, apparently we have a scripted war, and we should be able to beat up on them. Now, we do need to keep in mind here that we have an elven military, which basically makes us a glass cannon. We get some army tradition and some discipline and crazy things like that. However, every man we lose is going to be quite painful because our manpower recovery, max manpower, and reinforced speed is kind of gimped, and we don't want to get occupied because our cost of reducing war exhaustion is also quite low. So we need to be mindful of all those things. Should build up to my force limit, so let's go ahead and do that. So apparently the Jadd have a really interesting mission tree. It's very large, and apparently it expands in this blank space here. So that's going to be pretty cool. Apparently the main goal of what we want to do here is unite our region here of Bulwar and then head over into the east to Rachin and expand, and then also convert everything because of course we are very, very pious. This has the reformed mechanics of fervor, so should be pretty sweet. I don't really know exactly what all we're going to want here. You can see we got global trade, tolerance of true faith, and we got morale of armies and navies, and then we also have advisor costs and yearly corruption, which is pretty solid. Those are all very good things. So I think we're going to try to get our stab up and then run one of these guys that will help us out. But in the meantime, I guess we're just going to be sitting here and waiting for this war to begin. I have some advisors set up, and I don't really know exactly what else we're waiting on, so I guess we can just unpause here. Huzzah! We have an heir. He's a 2-3-4, which is actually not that good, but you know what? At least the succession is safe. I don't know. I don't really know how all this works. I assume we may get some different things given our mission trees, but we're now built up to our force limit as well, so we get some permanent claims, which is pretty solid. Though I was told that this scripted war is actually going to be kind of juicy because I'm pretty sure I get to full annex these guys, kind of like a Mamluk from the Ottoman sort of deal, but we'll see about that. Once we occupy all of that, we'll get some bonuses. Once we have spread our faith a little bit, we'll get some bonuses. And then we will also be here, occupy that. We'll get some permanent claims on this entire region, which is great. So I am now going to boost our stability here, which should give us an extra bit of fervor, so I can use that to get cheaper advisors, which should help our economy out quite a bit, about 0.3 ducats a month, so it's not nothing. And then we can easily switch that over to war whenever it is time for that. Learnings of an elder. It is easy to forget that the younger races live life to a fuller and quicker pace than ours. Jaddar must keep up with new developments if our country is to prosper. We can gain 1 paper mana per month, gain 50 diplo mana, or gain 1 mil mana. Well, I think we are lowest on the paper mana, so getting an extra paper mana per month is going to be useful. And just like that, the ruler of the Eastern Sands event has happened, and Zoka has declared war on us, you sons of guns. They actually called their allies in as well. Goodness gracious. Okay, so I was told that what I need to do is have Jaddar here in charge of my army and have him lead into battle. Now, we will also gain a subjugation CB on Vikul Gulen, which is where? I don't know who that is. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Now, like I said, don't worry about this. Ignore this. This is you know, that's just a UI issue, so don't worry about that. So it's time to fight. I was told I need to seek out an army that is in charge, that is being led by their leader, and kill him. That's what I was told. So we're gonna see if we can do that. Here he is, son of a gun. Let's get down here and kill him. Now I was told all I need to do is win a battle, and it should cause that an event to happen here. All right, very good. So pretty solid. We actually stack wiped him. The dude has freaking 10 shock pips. Did you guys see that? That's crazy. All right. During personal combat, Zoka, the self-proclaimed devourer of the suns, has been slain. So he's actually dead. He died. Okay, not quite yet. Maybe until this happens. But this is fine. Either way, has been slain by Jaddar. His horde turned into a mass of routing gnolls as the pack fell apart. Many surrendered to his new overlord, who destroyed the one that unified them. While many fled, elven troops moved into hills with little to no resistance. I cannot read, bro. I'm sorry. I'm so bad. I'm so stupid. I cannot read. Along with the Saran, the oppressed people population, or the oppressed. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go. This will cede this area to Har. Har will gain a core, make Har a vassal. Har's independence and the fall of Zoka will happen in 10 days, and I will get a bunch of provinces given to me directly. So cool. And then I assume this is Har. I don't know if that's like a letter, like that weird thing there. But anyways, there we go. We gained some free land. Apparently, I do need to core it all, which is not ideal. I didn't realize that was a thing, but that's okay. Declare war on Jaddari with a Reconquest CB by these guys up here. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. No, who is this? These guys. In the aftermath of Zoka's fall, we've suddenly found ourselves in control of a vast majority of his land, including that land which is conquered from the Acolyte of Saryand. Okay, so they're asking for it back. We can give it to them and transfer Har over to them, or we can tell them to kick rocks. So they will declare war on me, which means they will not be able to call their friends. Yeah, nobody really likes me. This is fine. They can declare war on us. We'll handle this war. It should be pretty straightforward. I should click this button there. Now I got a PU subjugation CB on these guys up here. And we will probably do that. They are gnomes, or not gnomes. They're not gnomes. They're dwarfs. Dwarfs. I'm sorry. I'm a dingus. All right. Either way, let's fight this war. This should be pretty straightforward. Well, here we go. We got another event. The matter of the gnolls. After the fall of Zoka and the dissolution of his pack, many of his gnolls fled to Tlukut, but some have remained. Now what is left? We are left to decide what happens with them, basically. So we can get local unrest and get extra missionary strength, or lose separatism and a little bit of missionary strength. And I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and go with that, because I kind of don't want to worry about that. That's going to be kind of painful here. Outnumbered means nothing when we got Jaddar in charge here. Look at this, man. Absolute Chad. Look at all this discipline bonuses we get. That's really going to help us quite a lot. Now, if you want to, you can actually micro this a little bit. Get that extra 10% morale. That'll help you hold on a little bit. Now, we did take quite a few losses, which we need to be mindful of because we can't really afford them. But you know, obviously beating them up and winning battles is going to be really important. They're also like absolutely imploding from rebels right now. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, I don't really need a whole lot from these guys. I'll probably just take their money and piece them out and focus on some internal stuff, because obviously we need to core up our lands, and that's going to be probably the biggest priority for me personally. I find it so funny that these guys are just absolutely getting crushed by rebels while I'm working on sieging down their capital, and it's like, I don't have to do anything. I reckon this is fine. I don't need any land. I don't have any claims or anything like that, so I'll just take all their money and then war reps, because we're gonna need to come down here and handle these rebels. So let's just get out of that war and sit back and kind of just chill for a bit. Meanwhile, we're getting everything cored up over here, so all is well. Once we get this coring finished up, we don't really have much of a rebel issue, so should be good. Ooh, very good. We got the Renaissance here. Since the arrival in the 11th century, the enigmatic slaves and their half-elven progeny have led the world in patronizing arts, and the scholars willing to explore the ancient Elven and Demarian societies of their forefathers. Very cool. So we do have a new, the Renaissance has spawned over here in what I assume is kind of like the Europe of Anbennar. So that's kind of cool. We'll see how things go with that. It would be really nice if we had any land that was not literally just like desert and mountains. So getting over here and migrating our trade over here into this node and collecting over here or here is definitely going to be something we are going to be prioritizing That will get our economy in a point where we're going to be able to expand. Now, we need to take an eye on this because I can attack these guys over here, and I believe I got a subjugation CB on these guys, so we're going to attack them. I'm taking a look over here at some of the trade goods. See, we got some cloth, we got some fish, we got some wool, and this province right here has this, whatever this is. Known by many names across Halan, Dame Star is found in meteoric deposits which typically fall to the world in the 10th month. Tearfall, said to be made from raw magic itself, is the lifeblood of magical praxis. It empowers spells and their casters and enhances weapons and armor. That's pretty crazy. So obviously I want some of this because that is very, 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 very expensive. The downside is that it gives provincial unrest. Oh no, anyways. So we're going to subjugate these guys and then take all their money. And now we are in a war against these guys. Ooh, some religious flavor events. It is time. Oh, Commander, the weather is perfect. The water is clear and the sun is bright. +1 stability. So we can lose a little bit of stability, lose a little bit of money for stability, prestige, and legitimacy. A little bit of that, or lose a little bit of a lot of that. So I guess we're just going to go with that. That's fine. This land must be absolute garbage because I can full annex them and it's only going to cost me 140 admin, which is crazy. Very little AE. Oh well, that is fine with me. I cannot yoink any development, but we will core it all up. And the thing is that this is not the right culture. Well, some of it is the right culture. It's all the right culture, but it is not the right religion. That's going to lead to some issues, so we do need to be mindful of that, but I don't think we're going to conquest a whole lot more, considering the fact that we are definitely behind on admin mana, or admin tech, admin mana, and the next major route we want to expand would be this way over here. So we're going to try to start working our way over here. We got some slaves over here, perfect. And then we want to get these trade goods up here, get our economy off the ground, and then we're going to continue to just expand and blob in general. Our truce is up with these lads. Their big friend over here is not going to join them, so I think it is in our best interest to attack them. We are going to do that. Let's get a claim over here on these guys and then get the army marching over this way, because we're going to try to take some land, specifically like this whole state here. This is their capital, but good development land so we can develop the institution and possibly even move our trade capital over here so we can start making some actual money. We have dealt with the whatever this word is here, and now we get a permanent claim on all null lands in the Bulwar subcontinent that do not follow the Jadd. Look at that, pretty solid. And now, after we convert a couple more provinces, we will get local missionary strength in some province, as well as tolerance of the true faith. Very good, but it opens up another branch here. Once we are able to take this province, that will give us permanent claim on another region. And then once we get every nullish province in here, will be converted to the Jadd. We will gain some prestige and a very large tolerance increase of nulls. So that'll be good. Now, if that isn't some flavor text, I don't know what is. If you guys want to pause the video and take a read through here, you can see there's some flavor around Zoka's son. We can have him become a general, as well as a small tolerance for nulls, a advisor for discipline, or gain some fervor and basically, shun him. I think I'll take him as a general, because why wouldn't we? I don't really want Jadd in charge of all my armies, because that will lead to him dying, and obviously I do not want them to die. We want him to live for a nice long time and lead us. So apparently we have a tribal government thing here, so we can conscript from the tribes, which gives us some skirmishers, which is pretty cool, and horsemanship, which will give us cavalry combat ability, which is pretty nutty, and then we can enlist a general of at least 40 tradition. I don't think I'm going to click any of them right now, but this is pretty sweet. If anything, the cav combat ability would be the one that I'd be interested in. The religious map mode is looking super good. I'm super excited about this. Now, I was taking a look over here. The orange sash, huh? So these guys have like their own little school in the high philosophy. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of like the religious schools of Islam. Here is our government reform, our first one, the Desert Legion, which gives us some pretty gnarly malices to our production and stuff like that. Obviously, we have minus 200% naval force limit, but our cav are very cheap. We get some movement speed and a cav to infantry ratio, so we can do cavalry only so long as our economy allows it. You can take a look at this number over here. Cav to infantry ratio 100. So we could do full cav with 120% discipline. They're also cheaper. So I think we will try to get a couple more cav in our armies. It's going to allow us to absolutely start steamrolling through the enemies. And for our first recovery, for our first thing here, I think it makes sense to go with a little bit of manpower, since that's what we have all of our malices for right now anyways. And not to brag or anything, but I am indeed the number 8 great power. That's right. You are looking at a superpower. One would say one of the best. And I think we should beat up on some more heathens over here. Why not? Light for the dwarves. We will lose a little bit of mana. That's fine. And the Jadd will become the new state religion of our subject up here in the dwarf lands. We'll also change the religion of their province there, and it will get a dwarfen minority. And then we get Serpent Spine Expedition, which allows us to spend some mill mana here. And it will give them an extra colonist so they can start colonizing up there in that land. And that's pretty solid. Preparations for the exhibition will happen for us within a couple of months. Very cool. And just like that, we're going to annex a bit of land up there. Now we can finally get up into this pass. An offer of mutual gain for our friends down here. We will gain a diplomat who is half off, which is pretty cool. So let's see what happens there. And I just gave them a bunch of land there. Oopsies, I did not realize that was going to happen. Okay, I wouldn't have courted if I would have known that, but that's all right. Harpy diplomacy, I have to employ. So if I put this Harpy diplomat here in charge, I should be able to click this mission. 400 diplomat, goodness gracious. But we get an extra diplomat and diplo rep +2 for the rest of the game. I would say that is very much worth it. And we will continue to convert everything because we're very pious like that. Look at that, the Jadd making great leaps and bounds of progress here. You need to be mindful of this, man. We have a -25 for our Desert Legion reform, and I can't get away from it. So we're going to have to play with some subjects, if at all possible. And I don't know if these guys are actually, they're too big to be a subject. But we'll see, though. I don't know if subjugation counts for this, so there's only one way to find out, and that is to invade them and try it out for ourselves. So let's do that. The goal of the expedition, feel free to stop and read. The true enemy is hidden deep within the ancient holds. We must banish the darkness from the caves or explore the Dwarvrod. Let's go into the ancient holds. I'm sure there's a meta or the correct quote-unquote way to do this, but I haven't really played this mod very much, so we're winging it. I missed this. So these guys became a march. Interesting. Okay, so they have infantry combat ability and goods produced. Are they small enough to be? They are not small enough to be a useful march. That's unfortunate. They need to be less than 48 development, and I reckon they're probably pretty close to that. They're up 50. Yeah, okay. So as we grow a little bit more, we might be able to, but you know, it is what it is. Since half these guys' country is occupied in another war, we'll just take what we can there. Makes our name pretty big because of all the deserts, which is cool, and we will core all that up. And just like that, I reckon we should be able to give these guys send officers, which will give them some serious bonuses to their military. We need to begin the process of annexing these subjects over here. Now, these guys are an autonomous vassal. I don't really know what that does. Hurts our stability, gives them liberty desire, and obviously I think it basically just means like we cannot integrate them. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't really know what they, you know, give to us as an autonomous vassal, but it is what it is. Now we just need to, you know, handle some rebels issues over here. But yeah, not so bad. Not so bad. We've definitely grown quite a bit so far. I'm pretty happy with that.